Part 7, Interwar, 1919 to 1939. It was during the interwar period that home ownership became widespread as an alternative to renting. In 1914, less than 10% of the population owned their own homes, but by 1938 this had risen to 34%. It was a prolific period in which 4 million homes were built by spec builders and local authorities. When building resumed after the First World War, it was mainly a choice between vernacular and Neo-Georgian. Vernacular features included rough cast, a bay with hanging tiles, mock Tudor half-timbering, and oriel windows. Neo-Georgian was ideal for small terraced houses. Another alternative was a combination of rough cast and brick. There was a desperate need to provide affordable homes for discharged servicemen. In response, a 1919 Act made it compulsory for local authorities to build houses for rent by the working classes, the so-called Homes for Heroes. The compact Neo-Georgian style was a logical choice because it made the best use of the available land. Local authority building lasted until 1921, when spec builders took over. They were able to do so because building societies were switching from lending to builders to lending to prospective homeowners. New owner-occupiers included those on lower incomes. Lower interest rates and smaller cash deposits helped, as did tax relief on mortgage repayments. Spec builders were getting organized on a larger scale in areas where new industries were situated, or along new railway lines out of the big cities. Langs, Costain, and Taylor-Woodrow began in this way as spec builders. Metroland was a spec building operation of the Metropolitan Railway Company. They bought and developed entire estates. With a variety of styles to copy, they quickly learned how to build quicker and cheaper homes on estates laid out with transport, shops, and recreational facilities. Even the Journal of the Royal Institute of British Architects admitted the builder built what the public wanted. Prefabricated components were available to fit out their new houses. At Welwyn Garden City, the local council coordinated their efforts with the Garden City development. The local version of Neo-Georgian used at Welwyn was widely copied, especially for small council houses. Elsewhere, houses built for sale needed to look different to council houses, so if the council houses were Neo-Georgian, the houses for sale would be vernacular, but with a bay window to further distinguish them. There were exceptions where the council houses were vernacular and those for sale Neo-Georgian. Builders realized that prospective owners value their privacy, so they placed the front doors of semi-detached pairs at opposite ends. The giveaway feature of interwar houses is the hipped roof. It was often accompanied by a lightly built bay. This was curved or segmental, with tiles hung from posts over a brick base. Modernism was largely rejected until a compromise design appeared. This came in semi-detached pairs with steel sun-trap windows and smooth, flow-curved bays under the familiar hipped roof. It was known as modern. There were other variations, such as the gable wing type, in which a rectangular bay extended forwards under the eaves of the gable. The open side gave access to the back for services, an arrangement known as tooth and gap. Garages for cars, known as motorhomes, could be built on the open side. By the mid-1930s, builders were diversifying, offering other types, such as bungalows and chalets. These were available as detached or semi-detached. They were cheaper and suitable for smaller households. In plan, drawing room and dining room were on the ground floor. The rear extension almost entirely disappeared. This reduced the size of the kitchen to a kitchenette on the ground floor. Upstairs, it reduced the size of the bathroom. The large building companies were able to buy in bulk, so they could install the latest fittings such as low-level cisterns. A Bakelite telephone might be installed in the hall. Coal-fired fireplaces were still the focal point of reception rooms. Many houses had features like fitted cupboards or stained glass windows to light the hall. Interwar houses were supplied with gas and electricity. These came through mains which were built before the houses. Electricity powered lighting and wireless sets. The kitchen and scullery might be combined, leaving the former kitchen as a family room where informal meals might be taken and a new radio or wireless set located. This was possible because the new gas cookers were compact enough to fit into a kitchen scullery or a kitchenette. Hot water could be supplied by an improved gas-fired geyser apparatus, such as an Ascot. The refrigerator was an innovation of the period. It could be powered by either gas or electricity. They were expensive, but a gas refrigerator was available on hire purchase for 2 shillings and sixpence a week. There were at least 3 bedrooms on the floor above. Furniture and fittings could vary in style between modern and traditional. Even traditional homes might have plastic door handles or Art Deco ceramics. At the back, one of the reception rooms would have direct access to the garden down a few steps. The coal bunker and ash bin were accessible via a narrow passage on the open side of a semi-detached pair. The garden itself might have a lawn, flower beds, and perhaps a plot for growing vegetables, or a green shed, or a glass house. Gardens became the subject of an entire leisure industry, with magazines and products like lawnmowers. The interwar period ended on Sunday the 3rd of September 1939. When the radio announced that war was declared, the film director John Borman was a 6-year-old playing in a suburban back garden. He described it as the moment when all the lawnmowers stopped.